Hey everybody, today we're going to work on getting down some of these white birches that gave us a headache all winter long. This is one of the developments. It's a class 6 camp road, but I keep care of the plowing, road maintenance, everything out here. So had a lot of white birches. Almost every other storm, white birches would bend over the roads. We'd have to cut them up. So we've been going around the last week or so cleaning them up. A lot of the people that own the properties are coming out saying, hey, anything else you think that might... So many people lost power out here so many times, more times this year than like for a long time. Seemed like every other storm there was issues with power flickering or going out for a few hours. Sometimes it was only for a few hours. One of the times it was overnight and it was like 20 below, so it's that people hate that. So they're giving me the okay to get rid of a few more of these birches, so that's what we're going to be doing this morning. You gotta love an excavator or a backhoe with a thumb on it when you're moving brush and stuff and trees, especially trying to get them out of the road so if someone comes through. I only do this for a few hours in the morning while things are still kind of bound up from the cold overnight. It's been warming up pretty quick here, so you'll see up the road, you'll see where there's water running across, and this, if I keep playing around on it with machines, it will get turning almost like a pudding. Right here is where I've been just moving around, but like I said, get up in the morning, do this for a few hours in the morning, try to get it cleaned up so when I start doing the road work I'm not dealing with the wood too. Alright, I threw the chain on the Husqvarna, so I always bring a small saw with me. This is an Echo CS310, one I don't use much. I got it because I can, like, sometimes when you're up on someone's roof trying to trim away from their roof and stuff like that, I like these light saws. I've said in other videos I kind of like these small Echoes weight wise, and even power wise. The Husqvarna stuff, the smaller saws, I haven't had super good luck with the small ones. I'm not saying I keep the Ranchers. I think I got a 455 left. I did give one away to my son-in-law. I gave him one of my other small Husqvarnas too, but I found I've owned one for 4 or 5 years now. The Echo seem to be treating me pretty good. I may even try one of the big saws, we'll see, but like I said, we'll be cutting this up with an Echo CS310. I got another half hour before I get a break for lunch, so I figured we'd buzz up what we can. Another thing I want to show with these small saws, not just Echo, most of the companies that have these small saws, big box stores, they're looking to sell them to a homeowner. When you put the chains back on these, like a lot of these small saws, I bought and sold, you know, not sold, I should say warm out. Or sometimes I give them away. Like I said, I gave a couple of my older saws to my son-in-law, help him out. But a lot of these small saws are sold, I think what they call it's a skip tooth chain. So they don't dog down. You'll hear this one dogging down a little bit, but it's because when I replaced the original chain, I put a regular chain on it. I believe that was one that came with what I think they call it a skip tooth chain. Just so that these ain't big enough to really be biting in. They kind of leave it to homeowner inexperience, I guess, to keep the power up. I would rather put a regular chain on these and then deal with it once in a while. Like I said, you get used to it. The biggest thing with guys like me, you get used to using the big powerful saws. These small ones sometimes can be aggravating, but these have their places. Like when you're on someone's roof trying to trim the trees back so the shingles don't get ruined, you want something light like that. If you're kind of hanging here and there and one arm in it, not that you're supposed to, but that's the reality. But that you'll see big tree companies that will have little saws when they're limbing up, especially if they're hanging in a tree with the ropes or off a crane. Every saw has its purpose. That's one I don't use a lot because it is so small. I also have a big Husqvarna. I've only used a couple times. I use it so when I have to get something small enough to go through my sawmill. I also plan on getting some big chunks in where I'm going to need that extra long blade. But you'll see that in previous videos. We should say future videos. We got a lot of this small stuff cut up. I threw the chain on the Husqvarna, so I always keep an extra saw with me, so if that happens, or you get one bound up real good. But the thing with these saws, you'll see in the video where this bogged down a couple times, but it's because it ain't just Echo. A lot of these companies, when they do these small saws, they think homeowner all the time. So I'm pretty sure they call it a skip tooth chain on them, so that they don't get dogged down so much power-wise. So, but when I replace, I've never put a skip tooth chain back on a saw. You hear this bogged down a little bit. It's because I've switched it to a real chain. And another thing I do, I get a little aggressive sharpening my chains so they bite pretty good. You get used to it with the higher powered saws. You can get away with it. These smaller saws, but that's just in my head the way I sharpen stuff. You take them down too much and it'll get them so they bite in pretty good. But so you can tell by the chip that it spits out. But I just want to explain this has got plenty of power for the size saw it is. It's just the type of chain I have on it. We're going to end up with quite a bit of this white birch before the week's out. I think I'm going to keep it separate. Some people get upset when you put too much of it in their firewood. To me, I think it's good wood, but a lot of times someone will call up and want like a half a cord just for their fireplace. They stack it near their, these 1800s farmhouses up here. A lot of people literally stack this and just leave it there for looks. They'll burn it, I mean, if the power goes out or something. But like I had a couple customers for a few years that would burn. The only time they used their fireplace was Thanksgiving and Christmas, so they'd always want like a half a cord from me. I'm gonna have pretty good charge today, but I've got probably, I'm gonna say 5 or 6 miles of road I got to take the birches down and clean them up. So I think I'll end up with at least a couple cord of pretty good stuff. Am I breaking a rule putting Husqvarna mixed gas and oil, bar and chain oil in it? Probably some people get mad, but it's what I use in all my stuff. I'd say probably 2/3 of a cord next to the splitter. We'll probably get another 2/3 tomorrow. I cut some other hardwood up too today, but I wanted to keep the birch separate. I think I'm going to put that on pallet, half cord pallets. Keep it separate. Someone that wants it for the fireplace or whatever. I just figured I'd show that. We ended up getting all the firewood, all the logs I had. The last couple of years, like I said in a video before this, I get home, I was busy, I'd throw 3 logs here, 3 logs there. I have extra lots around my house. So I gathered them all up. It's a good time of the mud season. Not a lot else I can be doing right now, so I said I'm going to go around and find all this, but I'll show you what we ended up with for a pile. I had one pretty good pile, but this is all wood that's a year or 2 old already. So, but this is the stuff I will probably split. If I get this split in the next week or so and it sits up in this field, I think I can get it down to about 20% moisture. This field, just the sun's on it all day long, so start anything up here, even the stuff that comes off the sawmill dries. And this birch that I got, that was something else I did this week. This is the stuff I'm picking up. This part of New Hampshire this year, we've been getting those snowstorms. These birches just took a hit this year. Like, I got a lot of this. I'm getting calls from other camp roads and stuff too that are going to want some cleanups done, but I go look at them. 90% of it's the birch. It's just bent down over the roads. Took out a lot of power lines over the winter, but a lot of the plow guys just cut them down, kind of left them in the ditch. Some of them are just cut. There's still like a 20-foot section of tree hanging there. So I think I'm going to end up with an abundance of birch this year. But like I said, some people don't want too much of it mixed in to their firewood. I've always thought it was a good wood. Like I said, I'm going to market it, looking for the guy that wants it for his fireplace at Thanksgiving, Christmas, stuff like that. Figured I'd finish this video, show you the pile we ended up with. Alright, thanks for watching. And like I said, if you like my content, like and subscribe. I'd like to keep growing this channel. We're going to have a lot of projects coming up that are going to be pretty interesting. I'm a landscape company, but like I said, I do a little everything. We got to lift and level a barn this year and a couple other things, so be cool. But thanks for watching.